Sunbeams danced through the clear blue ocean, casting golden freckles on Ollie Octopus's head. He waved all 8 arms at his friends, eager for the next move in their game. "Tag, you're it," he said, poking Finley the flying fish gently in the side. Spike the pufferfish giggled so hard his cheeks puffed until he resembled a floating beach ball. Coral the clownfish darted between them like she was late for the world's silliest joke contest. Water sparkled around them as they zipped and twirled, each splash sounding like laughter. The sea felt like the perfect playground, and Ollie's arms wiggled with excitement. They zipped and swirled around tall coral towers, weaving past shy sea turtles who peeked from behind shells. Finley asked, "Do I get extra points for flying above the waves?" His fins flicked as he leapt in a graceful arc. Ollie laughed, "Only if you don't splash my lunch." He twirled through a patch of sunlight, feeling the warm water wrap around him like a giant salty hug. The friends chased each other in loops, sometimes upside down, sometimes sideways, because underwater tag had no rules except fun. Spike the pufferfish tried to hide behind a rock, but his round shape stuck out like a balloon at a party. Coral the clownfish squealed, "Found you!" and zipped away before Spike could react. Ollie chuckled, his arms rippling through the water as he followed. Their laughter bubbled up toward the surface, popping like soda fizz. Even the shy crabs peeked out to watch the silly game. The ocean floor shimmered beneath them, a playground painted in shells and sand. Suddenly, a deep rumble tickled their fins. Ollie Octopus froze mid-spin, blinking as the sound echoed through the water. "Was that you, Spike?" he asked, narrowing his eyes suspiciously. Spike shook his head so fast he nearly rolled away. The water began to swirl in slow circles, like it was stirring itself for a giant soup. Coral's stripes flashed as she looked around, confused. The friendly playground seemed to hold its breath. The swirling grew faster, tugging at their tails and fins. Coral clung to a strand of seaweed, saying, "This is not part of tag." Her voice carried a worried wobble. Finley flapped his fins hard, hoping to escape, but the current pulled like a giant invisible vacuum cleaner. Ollie's eyes widened as the whirlpool formed, churning the water into a dizzying funnel. Sunlight fractured into spinning ribbons around them, turning playful waves into something wild. With a loud whoosh, they were yanked toward the center. Spike puffed up instantly, hoping bigger meant safer, but it only made him bob like a cork at a carnival game. Ollie reached for his friends, but the spinning water made every movement feel like dancing on jelly. Coral spun past him, her bright colors blending with the rushing water. The whirlpool's pull was strong, and their game of tag had turned into a race they hadn't agreed to. "Hold on!" Ollie shouted, his voice wobbling like jelly in the waves. Coral's bright stripes blurred as she spun past him, just out of reach. Finley tried to leap out of the water. Wings of his fins spread wide, but the whirlpool sucked him back down like a mischievous straw. Spike bumped into Ollie's side, puffed up and helpless. The spinning world felt like a giant watery merry-go-round gone wild. The walls of water twisted tighter, and Ollie's heart thumped like a drum solo at a fish concert. He hated tight spaces, especially ones made of swirling waves. Spike yelled, "This is the worst water ride ever." His puffed-up body spun like a fuzzy planet. Coral giggled despite the danger, her laugh bubbling through the chaos. Ollie knew he couldn't freeze now. His friends needed him, even if his own fear sloshed inside like a storm. Ollie took a deep breath, then stretched one arm toward Coral. "Grab on," he said. Her small fins trembled, but she latched onto him tightly. Another arm reached for Spike, who clung like he was hugging a giant balloon, himself. The whirlpool's roar echoed all around, but Ollie focused on the feel of his friends in his grasp. His chain of arms had begun, one link at a time. Finley spun by, flapping wildly in the rushing water. Ollie timed his reach like a catcher waiting for a fly ball. "Gotcha," he said, snagging Finley's fin just before another wave tried to steal him away. Now all three friends were linked to Ollie, their bodies bobbing in the spin. Ollie's 8 arms stretched in all directions, weaving them together like seaweed strands in the current. The living chain was growing stronger. The whirlpool roared louder, its voice like a giant drain slurping the sea. Ollie planted his remaining arms into nearby rocks, gripping tightly. 8 arms, 8 chances, he said, trying to sound braver than he felt. Coral joked, "I like this ride better when it's just tag." Her words made Ollie smile for a moment, even as the waves shoved against them like playful but rough dolphins. One by one, Ollie pulled them closer, his arms tightening like strong ropes. Spike muttered, "I feel like laundry being wrung out," which made Finley snort a bubble. Even Ollie chuckled, though his muscles burned from the effort. The whirlpool's spin slowed slightly, but it still tugged at them. Coral's eyes stayed fixed on Ollie, trusting him to lead them out. The chain wobbled as a huge wave slapped them sideways. Ollie gritted his beak and pulled harder, feeling the strain in every arm. Coral cheered, "We're almost out!" Spike puffed up again, hoping to help, but it only made Ollie's job harder. Still, the rocky ledge ahead grew closer, promising solid ground beneath the chaos. Finally, Ollie's last arm snagged the edge of a rocky ledge. He yanked with all his strength, pulling the group free. They popped out of the whirlpool like corks from a bottle, tumbling into calmer water. For a moment, they simply floated, still holding on to each other as the wild spin faded behind them. They floated quietly, catching their breath in the gentle current. Finley asked, "Does anyone else feel like they've been in a washing machine?" Coral laughed. "At least we're the cleanest fish in the ocean now." Spike managed a small chuckle, though he was still half puffed. Ollie wiggled his arms slowly, enjoying the still water. Ollie looked back at the whirlpool fading into the distance. His heart still raced, but inside he felt taller. Well, taller for an octopus. Spike said, "You were amazing back there." Ollie's blue skin darkened slightly as he blushed. Coral stripes shimmered in agreement, her smile wide and bright. "I just didn't want to lose my friends," Ollie said quietly, his voice soft but steady. Coral grinned. "That's what courage looks like." Finley added, "Also, it looks like 8 very tired arms." Ollie laughed, the tension melting away into the warm water. They swam back toward their favorite coral tower, moving slowly this time. Spike tried puffing up again for fun, but Ollie teased, "Careful, you'll block traffic." Everyone laughed, the sound rippling through the water like playful waves. The coral tower's colors welcomed them home, bright and safe. The sun dipped lower, painting gold ripples across the water. Coral asked, "Same time tomorrow?" Ollie winked, "Sure, just no surprise whirlpools." Finley pretended to check the whirlpool weather forecast, squinting at imaginary charts. Spike snorted bubbles, shaking his head at the idea. As they settled in for the evening, Ollie wrapped 2 arms around each friend. "Best game of tag ever," he said. Spike replied, "Especially the part where we didn't drown." They all laughed until the stars sparkled overhead, the night sea calm and full of friendship.